Welcome back to Coffee and Cocktails. Today I'm going to share what I spent in a day at Disneyland and give some tips and tricks that I've learned. As a local resident of Southern California, I've been to Disneyland quite often and have found ways to keep a trip to Disney in the budget, and so I want to share those ways with you. So, my first tip is to make a reasonable budget. To do this, I usually start by doing some research. I look at the prices for tickets, see what the current price is for parking. Disneyland has a dynamic pricing structure for their tickets. So the busier times of year, the prices are more expensive. So for the week I went was the week between Christmas and New Year's, and tickets were $194 per person. If we had gone the week before, tickets were a little bit less. So it's really important to get an idea of how much you want to spend, how much you're willing to spend on tickets, and decide from there what days you want to go to the park. You can also decide if you want to go to both Disneyland and California Adventure, do both in one day, get a park hopper, or just do one. Also, as part of my budget, I decide how much I'm willing to spend on food, coffee and snacks, and souvenirs. For food, like lunch and dinner, I try and keep it fairly minimal. Coffee and snacks, I know I'm going to get at least a few during the day. And souvenirs, same thing. I'm generally going to get a few items while I'm there. So I take that into consideration and add up my budget. So my budget for this trip was $409 for the day. One thing that I like to do if I know I'm planning a trip to Disney at some time in the future is to buy gift cards. So I will buy gift cards either from the Disney website, Target, even Costco when they have deals. Or if they don't have a deal going on, I'll still purchase it using my personal spending money for the month. That way I'm able to purchase it in small increments over time to make sure that by the time I'm going on my trip that I have the money built up. Target recently had a deal where if you bought your park tickets through them, you got a Target gift card. Costco also had a deal recently where you got a certain percentage off purchasing a Disney gift card. I also have purchased tickets from AAA in the past. They also have discounts available to members. So there's lots of different ways where you can get discounted tickets. Another thing that I'll do is if a family member or a friend asks what I want for Christmas or for a birthday, I'll say that I want a Disney gift card. That way I can save that gift card and use it whenever I go on my next trip. So for this trip, for example, I had two $50 gift cards and I had a third gift card that still had money left on it from my last Disneyland trip. Another great way to save money is to bring your own snacks. Disneyland allows you to bring in any snacks that you want. So a lot of times we'll bring in sandwiches, protein shakes, different snack mixes, and then that way we can use that throughout the day rather than purchasing food there for every meal. So we purchased our ticket online, and so that was 194, and then we paid $35 for parking for one vehicle. We prepaid those both online ahead of time, and so then we had both of those passes on the Disneyland app. And then once we got in the park, it was time to go on some rides. So these are some clips from the Alice in Wonderland ride, which I love. One of my actual favorite rides is the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland. I also really like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, Haunted Mansion, and Star Tours. There's definitely a lot of options, and there's something for everyone.
Royal Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, and the King. Shall we play croquet? Rule 42, the Queen always wins.
After going on a ride, it was time to get our morning coffees. We had breakfast before we left home. However, if you're staying at a hotel, it's definitely a good idea to get breakfast elsewhere before you get to the park if you want to save some money. There's tons of options around, and a lot of hotels will give you a free breakfast. So that's definitely a great option to do if you get that chance. While drinking our coffee, we decided to catch some of the parade that was going by. They do have parades multiple times throughout the day. I think there was two separate parades while we were there, so we caught a little bit of this one, and it was really cute seeing all the characters dressed up for Christmas and for the holidays. So it was really cute to see.
Hey, everything okay? Don't you just love the holidays? It's the sweetest time of year. You got it, Puro. More gumdrops coming right up. Anybody thinking of making a gingerbread house? Well, take it from Chef.
After the parade was over, we decided to walk down Main Street and we went to one of the pin trading shops and I got a couple pins. I really wanted to get the 100-year anniversary pin and a Christmas pin. So I got both of those and I also ended up getting a 2024 pin. After a few more rides, it was lunchtime. We went to Galactic Grill in Tomorrowland. I've been there quite a few times, and usually when my friends and I go, we will actually order the kids' meals because it's plenty of food. A lot of times I've gotten the burger and you can substitute and get French fries, or you can get yogurt or I believe fruit as the other option. And it also comes with a water. This time I actually ended up getting a salad, which was $12. And then I also got a souvenir tumbler, which was $30. It included my drink. It was kind of a spur of the moment purchase, but that goes under my souvenir category. And so that was $30. Then we spent the afternoon and evening going on some rides, looking at all the lights. They light up It's a Small World, and then they also do a lighting ceremony of the castle, so we went to see those. We also went and did some shopping in the stores. I didn't end up actually buying anything in the stores. There was one shirt that I wanted to buy, but it was $80, and I just didn't feel like that was still in my budget, and I didn't really want to spend the money, so I passed on that. But it was fun to still look around. Around 8 p.m., we decided we wanted to get a coffee. Neither of us were hungry yet for dinner. However, we did want to grab a coffee so that we could make sure we had energy to stay up and see the fireworks that started at 9:30. So while we were grabbing our coffee, we actually noticed that they were doing the lighting ceremony at the castle and they had all this fake snow flying around and it was really pretty to see and you can see everyone was loving it. It was so cool. Around 9:30 they started the fireworks. We stayed and watched all of the fireworks and then since we hadn't eaten dinner yet, we decided to stop at In-N-Out on our way home. I my order is usually about $7, so I got that. Eating outside the park gave us the chance to save some of that money that we would have normally spent in the park because meals at the park are obviously going to be more expensive. So going to In-N-Out after was a great way to save some money. So overall, what I spent for a day at Disneyland included my park ticket, which was 194, parking for a car, which was 35, my morning coffee and my afternoon coffee, which were $5 each. My salad that I had for lunch was 12. The tumbler drink that I had was 30. Souvenir pins were 42.96 and dinner was 7. So total for one day for me was $330.96. I also did list out some other costs just to give you guys kind of an idea of what those costs are in case you're wanting to get some of those. A corn dog and chips is about $12 and totally worth it because their corn dogs are amazing. Kids meal with burger and fries was $9.15. We also did end up eating some of the snacks that I brought with, some of the snack mix. Bringing food in is the best way, in my opinion, to save money because they do allow you to bring food in, and it's much cheaper getting food from either, a grocery store or from your house and bringing that in rather than buying the food there. Overall, for the day, for one person, I spent $330.96, which means I was $78 under my initial budget of $409. If I remove the cost of the park ticket, which was $194, then I only spent $136.96. For me, that $137 was covered by the gift cards that I accumulated over the past year. So this included gift cards I was given as gifts, as well as gift cards that I purchased myself. If you're planning a trip to Disneyland anytime in the future and you want to stay on a budget, just make sure you plan for it. Make your budget ahead of time, do your research, and get discounts where you can. If you have any tips for saving at Disneyland, leave them in the comments below. Also, let me know what your favorite ride at Disneyland is. Do you like Indiana Jones also? Let me know. Thanks. Bye.